Jai Shri, Jai Shri Mataji. Let's all collectively raise our kundalinis and take a bandhan. Also give a bandhan to where you're sitting, and then when you sit, to your asana. We take the name of Sri Ganesha and offer his mantra. Sri Ganesh. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Left hand towards Srimadji and right hand either on Mother Earth or towards Mother Earth. And from the heart, genuinely direct everything, all the love and all the devotion to Srimadji at her feet. From the heart, genuinely, with all the feelings, just say, Srimadji, I surrender everything at your lotus feet. By your grace, Srimadji, kindly remove everything, remove all obstacles, all challenges on my left side. And as Sri Ganesha is totally surrendered to Shimaji, and the surrender to her pleases him, to open up the left side, to have Sri Ganesha working in us, then we should also surrender the same way. Shimaji, we are totally surrendered to you. May thy will be done in our lives as it is done in the heavens. Can bring up the right hand. Now put up the left hand up and backwards. And on the right side, again from the heart, with all devotion and love. Shimaji, you're everything. And you're the one who does everything. Now here we'll take the name of Lord Christ, so Sri Jesus Christ, and we'll offer his name, Sri Jesus Christ. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Jesus Christ Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Srimadji, verily you're the doer, and we are your humble servants and your instrument. Can bring down the left hand. Now we'll offer the three Mahamantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Shri Maha Saraswati, Shri Mahakali, Trigunatmika, Kundalini Sakshat, Shri Adi Shakti, Shri Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devai, Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalaki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalaki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Shri Moksha Pradayani Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. You can start.
Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. Our hearts are united forever on the shores of Togliatti. Our hearts are united forever. When we surrender, we are in paradise. When we surrender, we are in paradise. Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. Shri Mataji, we love you. 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 Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. We know your love is flowing through us. We know your love is flowing through us. Bolo Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ji, Shri Nirmala Devi ki! Ki! Ki!
Today, long time back, Christ was born. You all know the story of his birth and of all the sufferings he had to go through. He is the one who has given us a model of a Sahaja. For he didn't live for himself, in no way, but he lived for others, working out the Agya Chakra. You may be divine, you may be very powerful, but this world is so cruel that they don't understand spirituality. They don't understand the spiritual greatness. Not only that, but there are many factors which attack spirituality. They have always done it. Every saint has suffered a lot. But I think Christ has suffered the most. As you know, he was endowed with all the powers of Sri Ganesh, as he is the reincarnation of Sri Ganesh. The first of them was his innocence. He was the eternal child, we should say. That he couldn't understand the cruelties and the hypocrisy of this stupid world. Still, if you understand, what can you do about it? But with great courage he took birth in the country where people had no idea of spirituality. I've read a book about him saying that he came to Kashmir. He met one of my forefathers, Shalivana. It's very interesting because it's all in Sanskrit. And the writer perhaps did not know Sanskrit. So he has given everything in Sanskrit language, which is not very congenial, I am sure, to the Western people. Thank God he didn't know Sanskrit. Otherwise it would have been very dangerous. It's written in that he asked Christ, why have you come to India? So he said, this is my country. That's why I've come here, where people respect spirituality. But I live among people who do not understand spirituality at all. His conversation with him was very, very interesting because Shalivana said that there is more reason that you should go back to your country and teach them Nirmala Tattvam. That's the principle of purification. Went back. After 3.5 years, he was crucified. I personally think the big difference between the Western execution and Indian is that in the West, killing is a very great profession. With the slightest pretext, they kill people. Anybody who is a saint was killed, or they call him a madcap. This is the best way to avoid spirituality. While in India, if a saint says anything, then he's not challenged. Never. But they believe in it. Because he's a saint, he's a much higher personality than we are. Though there were very nasty people around and they tortured them, but as a whole, the public, the people, respected them. If there are false gurus, normally they don't stay in this country because they know they'll be found out. Also, they are so money oriented that they go to America or to some foreign countries and settle down there to make money. This is one of the signs, one should say. This may be one of the reasons why Christ was born in a very, very ordinary family. He had no proper bed to sleep as a child also. It's all described. Where he slept, how his mother and father lived in a place where there were cows and calves. It was to show that spirituality doesn't need any luxury, doesn't need any pomp and show. It is a power within. It is a glow and the light within, which shows automatically. You don't have to do anything to show it off. Such a person doesn't have any sense of money and other things as possessions. He was bothered about people who were suffering physically, even the lepers. And he tried to cure them. He tried to help so many people who were sick physically. Because at that time there were no hospitals, no doctors. So his attention was drawn to people who were suffering physically. Also mentally he tried to prepare them. There are so many beautiful sermons on the mount. In a way, that time, people were not so materialistic, so they listened to him. We can't say how many understood. It's very important that if you are not a realized soul, then it's difficult to understand spirituality. The one who is talking about spirituality and the one who is listening to it, both of them have to have minimum of realization. So from his beautiful life that I see, we have to learn that unless and until we are realized soul, we will be torturing the Spirit of Christ. We have seen it's happening. All those who talk of Christ, he has said it very clearly. You'll be calling me Christ, Christ. I won't recognize you. Very clearly he has said it. I don't know why they didn't remove it from the Bible. It means those who will talk and preach and dress up to show off that they are spiritual in the name of Christ, he will not recognize them. It's as simple as that. And this time now, when is the last judgment, he is going to judge the whole world on the basis of spirituality, which means vibrations. His judgment has already started. I have seen it. You can see in so many countries, things are just disappearing. All their ego, all their aggressiveness, all their cruelties are being challenged. And those who did wrong in the war also are taken to task. So in the history also, those who have done wrong to any community, to any people, they all will be taken to task. They had no business to be aggressive on people and to torture them. This is what is Sri Ganesha's principle, acting through Sahaja. Christ didn't say that, but he did say there will be last judgment. On one side, he was very kind and compassionate. On the other side, he was really Sri Ganesha because he took a hunter to hit the people who were selling things in the temple. You cannot have business in the name of religion. What a big thing it is to understand. But the Christians didn't follow that. They did not. I don't know where have they gone. As we have Mahatma Gandhi, who talked of spirituality and nothing else. Adhyatma, all the time. But his successors who came put him somewhere with his spirituality and started a new world, new ideas, and a new style of life. Those who are supposed to be his followers are now wanting to have many pubs and also all kinds of things. Can you imagine? This Congress was started by Mahatma Gandhi. And the Congress walas are doing all this. Where are they going to lead? The beauty of this country is, the treasure of this country is spirituality. Instead of taking to spirituality, where are they going? They may not be Christians, but they respect Christ. They respect Bible. I must tell you, is a fact. People don't know. They are not Christians, means in the sense they are not baptized. But they respect. Because they understand that there was so much of spirituality about Christ. He was the personification of spirituality. That's the beauty of Indians. If somebody is a Hindu or a Muslim, makes no difference. There were many Muslims who were saints and Sufis in India. They are all respected by everyone, whether they are Muslims or Hindus. So for Christ, nobody has any objection at all. On the contrary, you saw yesterday how they were all happy about it. Because they are realized souls. But even if they are not, in this country, Christ is very much respected. They can't understand. How can they scrutinize the life of Christ? How can they judge him? And how can they make vulgar films about it? This they can't bear it. Because the respect that they have for spirituality exists very much more than it exists outside. Because in the name of Christ, people have done such a lot of wrong. Such a lot of killing has been done. All kinds of wrong things have been accepted. With all this, one doesn't understand how they have judged Christ. For example, what I know in England, I was shocked that if somebody dies, they drink. If somebody is born, they drink. Drinking is the only way they have relationships. How can you drink? I asked him. He said, why? Christ created wine. I said, when? In a wedding? I said, in a wedding? That was not wine. That was just the juice of their grapes that they grew there. We call it drakshas in our language. How can that be wine? It has to be fermented, it has to be rotten. How can that be? So, this is biggest dharma, to drink. But in India we know, so nobody has said anything against drinking. But we know drinking is a sinful thing. You see it every day. Everybody knows that if you drink, you become absolutely out of your mind. There's nothing to be said on a religious platform, but everybody knows that what is drinking is. Not that people abroad don't know, they also know. But somehow it has become a fashion. Even in our country it has now been introduced, I don't know how, after independence, people have started drinking. Every party they drink. Also in the name of Christ on Christmas Day. It's such an insult to his beautiful, holy life. So when they came on this earth, perhaps all their powers of holiness were destroyed. The very good thing about Indians is that at least they respect a holy place. That is something good about them. And they know what is holiness is. Now, of course, they are becoming very modern and Americanized, but still, they know what is wrong, what should not be done. With Sahaja Yoga, now I am very happy to say that the foreign Sahaja Yogis also have become very beautiful. I am surprised because in their culture there is no spirituality. But I don't know how they left all that nonsense and have come out like lotuses, beautifully, with such beautiful fragrance of spirituality. This is something, a miracle. Everybody says, Mother, we can't believe it. How could have happened? How did you manage this? I would say it's the blessing of Christ. They saw how people are working out in the name of Christ in a very degraded manner, and they developed a kind of a awareness that definitely is something wrong with this. This is not Christ. This is not his holy life they are depicting. It's something else. And that is how I think in the West there's a greater urge, greater ascending force. Yesterday somebody came and told me, Mother, there is no collective meditation. I was very happy to hear that. What is most important is meditation in Sahaja. No doubt about it. But the foreigners do meditation much more than Indians do, very surprising. And foreign men and women are very highly equipped, I must say, as far as spirituality is concerned. Especially Russians. I was surprised that in America, they told me, "Mother, these Americans are not surgeons." I said, "Why?" "They don't have that respect for you. They don't meditate. Those who do not meditate are not Saj Yogis." I said, "I agree." And they make all the Americans to meditate. I don't know why in these Eastern Bloc people, Bulgarians and Russians and all these Romanians, how they have taken to Saj Yoga so much. Of course, they had the curse of communism on them. Maybe that they felt that they have missed something in life and they went deep down into themselves, and that is how they have achieved it. But I have to tell Indians that they have to meditate. Indians have one or two very bad qualities, and that is one of them is groupism. For example, if they are Brahmins, they will sit together. If they are Kayasthas, they will sit together. If they are Baniyas, they will sit together. If that is not so, then by another name they will group together. This is the worst curse of my country. Because once you start grouping together, you can never see the good of others and you can never see the bad of yourself. This grouping together can bring a lot of problems in this country. At the time of Christ, they had very different type of people. Either they were interested in spirituality or they were not. Now we have people here who are interested in spirituality, but still one leg is in the water, where age-old problems still exist. And this is the ruin of our country. We cannot combine together. We cannot be friends with each other. Of course, not in Saj Yoga. I must say, it has been solved very well. But if you see, even at the time of Christ, he had problems with his disciples. Especially something happened with Peter. And he is the one who said, Satan will meet you. Because I think people fall into the group of satanic forces. And he said that he removed the satanic devils from many people and put them in the pigs. It's true. There is a satanic force which is working very strong. The more we develop security of spirituality, the more they will develop. The satanic force is in a different form in the West and a different form in the East. But I would like to tell for them to be careful how to find out the satanic forces in the West. You may not be affected by that because you are realized souls, but you will have to fight it. you will have to fight it. For example, racialism. Racialism is still very powerful there, very, very powerful. And you have to fight racialism through marrying people who belong to other races. But still I find difficult to marry a black person to a white person. It's an impossible situation. If I try that, I don't know what happens. Once we had such a marriage, I must tell you. And a white lady, French lady, was married to a black man. Instead of the French lady dominating, this black man dominated. So I was quite surprised, how could that be? So the reason was, I think he was taking the revenge, maybe the respite. So first of all, tremendous love and affection has to grow between the people. This color is so skin deep. It has nothing to do with the love inside. Nothing. It's so skin deep. Thank God in our country you can have a wife who will be very dark, husband will be very fair, or the vice versa. But they never look at that from that angle. I don't think that exists in this country. But we have another kind. See, just the typical human problem is that he discriminates through ego, which I must say Christ has tried to fight your ego. He was born in a very humble family. And he was not a white-skinned man, no. In your language he was brown, but in Indian language he was black. But when it comes to spirituality, you just see the enlightened one. You don't see what color they have the skin. It's very, very superficial. But this is one of the enemies of the Western life, I think, which must be conquered. Materialism is another one. But the worst of all, which is against Christ, is immorality. Immorality is so much accepted in the West. All kinds of immoral behavior is accepted. Like they say that all these immoral people say vote for somebody, he becomes the President of America. Then it's all right, doesn't matter. All kinds of immorality is allowed. But that is absolutely against Christ. Absolutely. People don't understand that immorality will lead them to a kingdom which I don't know what to call, because it's even worse than animal kingdom. And they are so immoral. They listen to people like Freud as if they have no brains, they have no spirit to take note of such a man. Only after Sahaja Yoga, model of Christ's life, you can have. Whatever is past is over and finished. Today, now you are realized souls, and morality is your strength. Forget about the past, and I'm sure you can get many more people under the banner of Sahaja Yoga if you lead a very, very moral life. At the same time, another very bad enemy we have is our anger. So they are very proud. They'll say, I'll now get angry. You know, I'm very angry. They are not ashamed about it. And they go on saying that I'm very angry, as if it's not wrong to say I'm very angry. Now they say, I hate. I mean, imagine any Indian language, if they use this word, it would be meaning I am committing sin. So all this aggressiveness comes from anger. If somebody has to be angry, he should be angry with himself. Best is to get rid of anger. You can pull your hair, you can bite yourself, you can use your pillow to hit yourself. That may be the best way of taking out your anger. But see, for what are you angry? Sometimes it's absolutely useless. Sometimes it has no meaning. Sometimes it's absolutely maddening, stupid. But as long as you stop saying, I am very angry, that's it. That's the time you should know you are falling down completely. So, Christ didn't talk of all the subtle things I have been talking to you because that was left to me. Without realization, how can you talk about subtler things? You cannot. Last time I told you about the vibrations. What is it? What does it stand for? And how you get the subtle energy which we call as Tanmatra of our light, Tejas, of water, Jal and Prithvi, Agni. But I didn't tell you of one, very special one, which is, in English language, you call it ether. But ether is the energy which is managed by another Tanmatra, we call it Akash. It's especially today, because it's Christ who has sacrificed his life to open our Agya Chakra, that we have reached that state of Akash. Without him it would not have been possible. We can have general communication, like we can talk to people, we can say things, we can also use our fingers to express ourselves, our hands to communicate. But to communicate vibrations, you have to have vibrations. Otherwise, you cannot feel another person. But if you are at the Agya level, means you are mental. absolutely mental, then your vibrations also are dwindling, in the sense you don't know what really they are saying. You can't judge your vibrations because these vibrations are mental. They'll say, Mother, we asked the vibrations. I said, really? But you don't have any vibrations, how can you ask the vibration? It's a very common thing. We asked the vibration, we found from the vibrations. It's not possible because you are just mental. Now what Christ has done is to put you away from the mental level. That is the most difficult. While I am surprised, those who follow Christianity have the worst mental position. They are mentally absolutely there, like, I don't know what to call, like the fog of Delhi. That you can't cross. That's what was broken was Christ. How much we should be obliged to Him that He removed the greatest hurdle in the human ascent. And that one was to break this agya, this mental being within us. We read like mad. We listen to people like mad. We like those who give us feed for our mental being. They are so mental, so argumentative, think no end of their intelligence, that you have to just say, all right, namaskar. You can't fight their mental attitude. That's why Christ is to be worshipped by people who are so very mental. And this mental nonsense has given such a sense of superiority to people. Oh, whatever we do, what's wrong? What's wrong? They cannot correct themselves. Because unless until you cross this limit of mental being, you cannot see yourself. You cannot introspect. You cannot see yourself. You will see others. The Sahajogis are like this, Sahajoga is like that, all kinds of things. But you can't see yourself because the whole thing is mental. This mental attitude should be completely curbed through the help of our Lord Jesus Christ. But He is also mental. In your brains, Christ is also mental now. Now what to do? The one who broke the mental attitude is also a mental. You have made him into mental, like a statue of stone. So firstly, we have to tell ourselves, now don't think, don't think, don't think, don't think, 4 times. And then you can rise above. And this is very important. In meditation, you have to go beyond the mind. And thanks to Christ that He is sitting at the Agya to finish off this nonsense of mental being. I think people should stop reading also, perhaps, maybe. Even my lecture becomes mental, what to do? I mean, everything goes into their head, becomes mental, somehow. And then they ask me questions, Mother, did you say it this way? What is the... I said, yeah, I said it to make you thoughtless. Just to stun you. I didn't say this to sit down and analyze and do, no. I said this that you become absolutely shocked and stunned. So, the best thing for all of you is to become thoughtless. That's the blessing of Christ. That's what He worked it out for. And I'm sure if you work it out, that don't pay attention to others. Don't react. Just don't react. Everything they will see, they'll react. What is the need? What is the use? What are you going to do with that reaction? This reaction creates nothing but ripple of thoughts in your mind. I have told you hundreds of times. And now you have to become absolutely thoughtless after this puja. If that happens, I think we have achieved a lot. That's the biggest blessing that Christ has given you, which you should really enjoy. Then only this Akash Tattva in you will work. And how it works? Through your attention. It works with me, as you know. With my attention I work out many things. How? Just my attention has become thoughtless. Just thoughtless. It goes wherever it goes, it works. But if you put your attention for thought all the time, for thinking, then it doesn't do the work that it is supposed to do. Attention works marvelously if you are thoughtless, otherwise it doesn't. So it has to rise from your own self, then from others, to the higher level of humanity, where you are in communication with the sky, which we can call it as the Tanmatra, or the essential or the essence of ether. With ether, you can have television, you can have telephone, it's a miracle otherwise. But with this Tanmatra, sitting down here, you can do the job. It works. Just attention works. I know that. You also know very well. But you don't have to ask me to put the attention. You just put the attention and it will work. It's a very important thing that you have got. I think that is the first thing. Once you have, no problem. But we start manifesting from the earth element, then from the Agni element, then from the Jala element, and then we come to Tejas. The face starts shining. But lastly we get this thoughtless awareness by which our attention is absolutely free to do some special work. But if you are all the time thinking, then pour this attention is so busy, so very busy. You don't have to ask me then, Mother, please pay attention. You can pay attention and you can work it out. In this attention, you don't feel what you got, what you are studying, what you are wearing, what others are doing. No, nothing. You are one with yourself. And it's a life full of humor. So much humor. So much of joy. So much of happiness. That you don't care for anything. That normally people care for. So, as it is now, Sahaja Yoga has worked in so many countries. I am so very proud of you, very, very proud. And now it is also going to African countries is a very great satisfaction for me. And you all can do it. You all can work it out. Only thing, become thoughtlessly aware as the blessing of Christ. If it works, you will be absolutely enjoying yourself. So may God bless you. First of all, we have to thank
If you've got a pack of hot dogs in the kitchen, toss them in the trash. And do this.
the French Sahajogis who have arranged this program for us. So these are we have to thank all the leaders of all the Sahaja Yoga centers in Europe and in England who have helped to arrange this program. You are the leaders. You are clapping for yourself. Last of all, but not least of all, we have to I have to thank all the Sahajogis for coming all the way to this castle. So as a token of my gratitude for all of you, I would like to give some little presents to the different centers of Europe and England. So as we call the names of people one by one, you should come. Now, Gavin and yes, because the handwriting is written by people that you can't read. First the centers you take out. Move it the other way now. This is correct. It's come out correctly. Yeah. No. Let's start. Now we have done one thing. First of all the leaders of the centers will be called, of the countries, will be called and given a present to them. And after that, we'll be calling some of the leaders whom we have not yet given presents, but I would like some of the senior leaders to give them the presents. So it would be a generosity on their part, because I had put those names which are the leaders already, and I think it would be very generous on their part to give these presents. नहीं कटेगा देखो ला के ask one of these girls right behind you. Has anybody got pair of scissors? Now, if you have any questions, I would like to answer them, and then I'll tell you something about surgery.
How can we better protect ourselves if we work in an environment which is against Sahaj?
That's the place you have to work it. I will tell you later on this point more. Now, another question.
Is there a particular advice to keep the Sahasrara open and clear?
Particular?
Is there a particular advice to keep the Sahasrara open?
All right, I'll answer this also. No, I think I can answer this question now. It's very simple, as I told you, that the deity of Sahasrara is sitting before you. That the deity of Sahasrara is the Mahamaya. That try not to understand her through your reasoning and imagination, but by surrendering absolutely, to it. You keep your sahasrara open. In case you still find, just one sentence more, it is still closed, you have to ask for forgiveness from the deity. That if we have by mistake made any mistakes, so please forgive us. That's all. All right. Now, what is the another question? What no?
It's a very specific question. It is advised that children should sleep in the same room as the parents. That if they wake up 4 or 5 times during the night, okay, is it possible to put them in a separate room?
No, then the mother should sleep with the child. And the father should sleep in another room. Mother should never leave the child. Moreover, I would advise you that now you have children. Don't get too much involved with your children. That's a dangerous thing. This is another phase. First they get involved with the wives or husbands, then they get involved with the children. If you get involved with the children, then again you have to restart many things. So don't get involved. You have to just do the work like a trustee of the child, just a trustee of the child. But don't get involved with the child. That is my job. You have to leave it to me. So don't get too much involved with the children. I find people who got children, you see, are going now writing literature on it. Don't do like that. I've already given instructions what is to be done about the child. But the children are mine, not yours. So you just don't get involved into them because that's a temptation for you. Too much involvement in the children is a sign of degradation. It's only your responsibility to look after it. That's all. So, and mother must be with children. Must be with children. She should sleep with them, she should look after them till they are 5 years of age. If she has to go out, she must know that she has to carry the child. She cannot leave children. That's not good. Should never leave the child before they are 5 years of age, whatever it is. Because you should know that till that age, 5 years of age, the child is growing very fast. You see, at an old age, say somebody is 90 and 95, there's not much difference. And at that time, the sense of security must be maintained. That one has to do. So if the husband has to do something else, or if he has to go out or anything, he can go with other friends, the boys or other sahajogis. But the mother must look after the children. That's her duty. She has to do it. And of course, the husband must help her, must do whatever is needed. But here the question is of shifting the similarity. Now at this time the mother is important. She has to look after the child. That's her first job. And at this time the husband's job becomes a secondary thing. But hers is the first job. And later on, then it again shifts because husband's work becomes more important. If you give them now the security complete, the children you will find will be very peaceful, and that's what Indians do. You have seen how Indian children behave. They are so quiet, so peaceful. Because they completely, the mothers forget about the whole world. You will be surprised, till my younger daughter was 5 years of age, I never went out with my husband. And women should not unduly feel that to look after the child is a lower job and to work in the office is a higher job. Because that pays more money or gives you artificial powers. You must know the greatest power in this world is that of the mother. And unless and until you give you that much to your child, the child is not going to give you back. That discipline, that respect, that glory that you expect as parents. There should be a rapport between the child and the parents and understanding. They should talk and not give toys all the time, but talk to them. Even when they don't talk, you talk to them. And that will improve cases. All right. So what is the second one?
Can you talk about discrimination, Sri Mataji?
It's an innate quality. You can't talk about it. Discrimination is not rational. It's an innate quality. But the best thing you have are vibrations, by which you should see if the things are all right or not. But you must know, as Sahajogis, as you will grow, you will know immediately what is good and what is bad. It's a state in which you just become discreet. But for that you must know is to have your responses controlled, a steady response to anything. You just, for example, you see something, for a minute you just become into thoughtless awareness. And you will have the power of discretion. It's a power. It is not a thing that can be discussed or taught. It's a power. So one has to develop that state. And the best way is to, at any confrontation, anything that you face, first you become thoughtlessly aware, so you enter into the kingdom of God. And then react. The responses must be made very steady and subtle. And one should not suddenly change the attentions. You see, just now, everybody's attention there, mine is not. I did the job.
Once again.
All right? The attention now is with me. Suddenly all of you turn. What is there to see? Who is responsible? So those who put their attention there, pull your ears. I think everybody should do it. All right. So, now, what's the other question?
For an artist who is a Sahaja Yogi, what means to create a piece of art?
The piece of art must emit vibrations. It does not emit, that means there's something wrong. And going for something higher subjects, like Kundalini, like the expression of Kundalini, the colors of Kundalini, and into another world, you have to move into that world. Like you can see, we have so many artists, for example, you can say Blake. And for a Sahajogi, it should be a kind of a beautiful integration of the gross and the abstract, or realistic and abstract, you can say. And little bit of impressionism. That's how you should try to integrate all of them. They express one style. Sahajogi has no style because he knows how to mix up, how to integrate. But certain colors like black should be avoided. But the pastel colors, if they are mixed with black, give it a depth to the pastel colors. Your mother's attention goes to Sahajogis. That's my attention is. And it is such a remarkable attention that it is described with kataksha nirikshan. Is every glance examines and acts. So when you have that attention, then it's all right to see everything, because it is so deep and penetrating. Yeah.
How, for the people some people for a reason or another cannot live in an ashram, so how do such people know that they are growing in collectivity?
Growth in collectivity creates joy, fun, happiness. No discussion, no argument comes in, especially with the leader. What are your relations? That's very important. Now, if you fight with the leader, then something wrong with you. You have no right to fight with the leader. Now, if the leader becomes absolutely unpopular, then he is no more a leader, that I know. But he has to be unpopular in the whole world. Say, for example, if there is Mr. X who is popular in the country, who is a leader and unpopular in a country Y. Now, that is no judgment, because they might be jealous. They think they are equal to him and can fight him back and can shut him down. And no administration can work like that. Least of all divine administration. So those who fight the leader are first of all uncollected. Actually, India is the best way to find out. They come and tell me about who is who. So I would put it like this very grossly, that you have to be popular in India. And the Indian leaders have to be popular otherwise, in other countries. But perhaps I have some sense of discretion and I know who is who. So somebody who is a leader, you should not fight, first of all. You should not, if he's strict, if he's harsh with you, take it with a grace and be happy that you are corrected. But if you give an explanation or you fight it back or you think that you are all right, then you can never improve. I have seen there are some Sahajogis and Sahajoginis who have been with us for years and they have not improved at all because they think that there's nothing wrong with them. Sometimes I shout at them because the booths have to go, so they said, all right, mother has shouted at our booths. And they never want to look at themselves. And they are the losers. Who's going to lose? They are stupid. And then such people go and talk against the leader at his back. These are the murmuring souls that Christ has described. And they try to form a group against the leader and create a problem, a barrier for themselves and also for Sergio. These are very dangerous people and they know the ways how to talk against the leader. So keep away from them and shut them down. Even they might be your husband or your wife or your child, don't listen. Tell them to shut up. This is a booth talking. Just don't listen to anyone who murmurs behind the back of the leader. They will appear to be very wise, very sensible, but know that they are against Sahaja. Just don't listen to them, don't accept anything from them. Tell them to shut up. The leader has to deal with very important things. With me it's very difficult to deal, and he has to also deal with petty things. They, poor things, are like martyrs, I should say, in my presence. I had to correct so many times in such a bold manner. I correct them and they take it from. This is how we are going to work it out very smoothly. Frigidity.
No, fluidity.
Fluidity. I thought frigid. All right, on the French soil we can't say much, all right? Be careful. One must understand that it is the leaders who have to be really strict with the discipline. They themselves should be disciplined and they must put discipline on the people. But they have to be full of compassion, compassionate towards all other people, but not sympathetic towards booths. Not to sympathize with booths, not to identify with bhoothish nonsense, not to be kind to people who have booths is discipline, is the compassionate discipline. That's how we all are going to improve and improve and improve for our own gain. Now here there is no domination. It's the compassion of God you accept and the bhoots you discard. The domination of the bhoots you discard with the help of your leaders. So if they are harsh with you, thank them for that. Next question. They are sadly mistaken. If they do that, they'll be lost in no time. This is the same thing which has ruined our Western country, where people believed in individuality without maturity. We believe in maturity and then individuality. Say a flower becomes a fruit, on the tree it has to mature on the tree with the whole, till it is completely mature. And then it can become an individual, otherwise what's the use of having these half-baked people? We must know that in Sahaja Yoga we don't believe in an immature individuality. Like two little boys of 10 years fighting in front of my road and having a boxing. And I asked them, why are you fighting? They tell me back, it's a personality clash. Even if you fight with another Sahaja Yogi, there's something wrong with you. What's the next question?
The question is, if there is one leader who does not stand up to his responsibility...
That's my loka. That's my loka. You know I know everything. So you just don't worry. You don't have to judge your leaders. Leave it to me, I'll manage that. See now, already you have so much work to judge yourself and to judge those who are not yet realized. So why should you worry about your leaders so much?
Is Krishna born from a cow, Srimataji?
Is Krishna?
Is Sri Krishna born from a cow?
No, the once upon a time, long time back, the mother took birth as a cow, see? And everybody was in that cow. Krishna and everyone was in that cow. Then later on, that cow took the form of a lady. And then Krishna was born from that lady. All right? That's for children.
Hello?
All right, good. He understands English. Now, any other question?
If you are in Sahaja Yoga and your wife leaves you or your family leaves you, how do you react? If you are Sahaja Yogi and your wife and your family is not in Sahaja Yoga, what to do?
I'm just the same. Now 14 years have passed, it's just the same. And only thing you can do is to prove it. Prove it by your own behavior, by your own example. If they are honest, they'll accept it. If they are dishonest, forget them. This so-called family is temporary. This is the eternal family you have. So don't quarrel or fight with them, leave them alone. They'll come round. Actually, you should never force them to come. I'll give another instruction today, that many people who are Sahajogis won't take their children to their parents because according to them they are not Sahajogis. Sometimes they don't take the children because they think the parents will spoil. Unless and until they are positively against Sahaja Yoga. If they are not against Sahaja Yoga, you should take your children there. There's no harm, because this is a very funny attitude people take. But if they are definitely against Sahaja Yoga and doing activities against Sahaja Yoga, then you cut off. But as long as they are neutral, they are not doing any harm to Sahaja Yoga, they are not against Sahaja Yoga, they are not against you, then there's no harm in going and seeing the children. I mean, the Sahaja Yogis are so frightened of bad vibration that they look like schizophrenic people. It should not be a craze. Sahaja Yoga is not a craze. It is a power that should give you greater powers instead of making you frightened personalities. You are not excluded people, excluded from the rest of them. You are not excluded. You are exclusive, but not excluded. This is discretion again. So go ahead with it. Meet everyone, talk to everyone, be nice to everyone, go to every shop, go to your parents, talk to them, nicely be nice. Don't talk about Sahaja Yoga, otherwise you'll develop some horns. So this is to feel everybody's vibration, bad vibrations, good vibrations, madness. And a fellow who came to see me, he's a Freudian, and he wrote in his book that Sahaja Yogis are schizophrenic. No, he did. This one fellow in India, a stupid fellow. And you see, he must have picked up some Sahaja Yogis from the periphery, you see, who are frightened to talk to me. You're Freudian, all right, we don't want to see your face. Why should we be afraid of anyone? Even of the Satan. Who is he? You are there to kill him, and you have powers. And you have powers. So what is this kind of a cowardliness? Doesn't behove. All right, next question. Actually, you have such powers that even if you do like this, the bhoots will run away. Like this. It's sufficient. Now, what is it?
This we have registered.
Yes. Because they said there's not good vibrations in the thing. I am coming here, how dare anybody stay here? They must have run away at least 100 miles. Let's have it, the second question. Now, what is it?
How can you please you best?
It's not a bad question, Srimati.
What does he say?
How can we please you best?
I have no desires. I don't know. You see, inside me is complete peace and complete satisfaction. There is nothing that is needed inside. But the ripples of that joy flows outward all the time. And when it reaches your shores, you see, it comes back. And it weaves a beautiful pattern. And I see the pattern. The reciprocity, how much you reciprocate, is the way the pattern is beautiful. Pattern is beautiful. It's delicate, it's powerful, it's so soothing. And it weaves the complete beauty of bhakti. So much so that this ocean of joy itself gets turbulent. And I really swing with it. And it is not easy to describe that beautiful feeling of tremendous joy. The first thing you have to know that I love you very much, with all my heart, with all my soul. In the same way, try to love me, with all sincerity and trust. May God bless you. Now I'll speak for 1 minute about this meditation. Yesterday I told you about putting your attention to different areas, the pradesh or the chakras. And the chakras, as you know, has got mandalas, is the areas. So when you pay attention to the chakras, where do you pay attention to is the point. Actually you pay attention to the deity. Now this deity, supposing you are taking the name of Sri Ram, you are trying to establish Sri Ram within your heart, right heart chakra. Now at that time, what do? You say the mantra. But there's another way which is easier, because you are saying a mantra in a way that is not so much intelligible there to Sri Ram. But first of all, if you study the qualities of Sri Ram, what were his qualities? And if you manifest those qualities through your character, then it's very easy to please Sri Ram. What is the quality of Sri Ganesh? He is entirely surrendered to Mother. Even Father doesn't bother him. What is the quality of Christ? He forgives those who have crucified. He can go through all kinds of tapas. What is the quality of Sri Krishna? For whom everything is a leela. Like that, when you take the name of Sri Krishna, do you see everything as a witness? If effortlessly that happens to you, you should know that you have established Sri Krishna. The most difficult thing is to establish me. Because I am Mahamaya. And the facets are so many, 16,000 into raised to power 1,000. So it's difficult. But whatever things you can grasp and think this is Mother's quality, try to imbibe that within yourself. That doesn't mean you start shouting at booths first. So first, what is the first quality of Mother? That she came on this earth and she has worked for people who are nowhere near her. She stooped down to elevate others. And then gradually you can understand that this quality will take you to higher qualities that you think. So among the 7 colors, to begin with, I am the green color, because I am in the center. Green color is the color that you get it from the Mother Earth. So first you must establish the quality of the Mother Earth, that she sucks up all the problems, gives you the best that she has. Start with the Mother Earth, so you start with the Kundalini. That's how one should start in imbibing the pure Kundalini form of Mother. Is purity, is cleansing purity. But are you pure? Are you pure in your heart? Just think of that. And then with purity you start. That is how you have to establish different chakras, of purifying all the chakras, and ultimately when you have purified all of them, you have established me. Thus, we understand we have to grow within and without by spreading our light horizontally now. Only when you become like the deities, your light will spread horizontally, otherwise not. That is what we say, that somebody has got the siddha of a particular deity. It's the siddha of Ganesha, it's the siddha of Sri Krishna. So first when you develop their manifesting outside powers, see, of kindness, compassion, of witness and all those, then you can develop their other qualities which are on the destructive side. First the constructive side you must develop. Then the destructive automatically will work. You don't have to worry. Like one side of Sri Krishna, he was playing with ordinary herdsmen, and the another side he was killing Rakshasas. So first you have to become like him, and then automatically you will get the other powers. You don't give swords to stupid people, do you? Swords.
Oui. On ne donne pas des épées à des gens stupides, c'est trop dangereux.
So one would understand that one has to develop these qualities of construction of all the incarnations, and then you become empowered by the destructive qualities of those incarnations. If you understand the sequence, then the fanaticism will never grow, because fanaticism comes when you start thinking that you are the incarnation, or whatever incarnation has done you can do. Like Christians felt they could become Kalaki without his advent even, and they took a rifle, or you can say a gun in one hand and a Bible in another hand. And the Muslims, they never believed that Muhammad was a prophet, so they think because he was not he was a prophet, but he was not an incarnation, so we could also do the same what he was doing. In the same way, Hindus also, when they become fanatic, they start thinking they have become great incarnations. So discretion must be used again, that you developed all the constructive side of an incarnation. So after the seminar, you have to remember my word about it, that you have to concentrate on a deity, to imbibe the qualities of that deity, otherwise you have no communication with the deity and no use saying the mantras. Like we would say that this chakra is catching or that chakra is catching. Why? Because there is that lacking of that chakra that you have not yet imbibed within yourself. So you must try to identify yourself with the qualities, the constructive qualities of every deity, and that's how you should believe that you are now correcting your chakras with the mantras. Otherwise, I'll find all the Sahajogis carrying all the 1,000 weapons of the Devi in their hands, suddenly thinking they have all become Devis. Now I hope when you go back home, you won't forget my words, and try to concentrate on your pradesh, on your areas of different chakras which are not all right and which are troubling, and try to imbibe those qualities and nourish also the ones that are all right by understanding the qualities of the deities. Then only you will be amazed that your powers will flow without even thinking about it. It's not difficult for you. It's not at all difficult. But know that instead of paying attention to others' chakras, better look after your own chakras. If your chakras are all right, you won't even catch from others. Another dangerous thing people do is to correct the chakras of others. Individually it should never be done, collectively you may do. But it's better not to enter into that exercise till you have reached certain state of confidence. This is for your further movement into the second era of Sahaja. And I hope I will live to see the second era fully. But first, second one, you desire for the second. You cannot jump, you know. Now, here you should today say to yourself that in your heart, promise that, Mother, I will now correct myself completely for my own benefit, and I will project my mind to think discreetly how I can help to propagate Sahaja Yoga to others. With discretion. You should not go and talk to a bull about Sahaja Yoga. Now, for the leaders, I have to tell you that consolidation is a very important part of the projection. I would say all the leaders must meet and decide especially about few things like tapes now. Tapes are to be put into some place as bank. Put it in Switzerland, put it somewhere. And that they should be distributed regularly. There should be a regular register of it. Write it down wherever I speak, where is the tape, how many lectures she gave. Some of you should try to translate or to edit some of the tapes on your own and see how you have done it. Send it to your leaders. Let the leader read it, and then if he finds it all right, he can send it over to me, so that we have a record also on paper. And also the sending of tapes from places to places is very important. Sending of tapes to different. I must find out the people who want the tapes should write to a particular committee for that you haven't got this tape or that tape. And if you get a particular tape, correspond about it with each other. Just don't get lost. Correspond. Did you listen to that tape? Have you heard of that? What is this? You discuss now Sahaja Yoga among yourselves. Write to each other. Now the videotapes. Whatever tapes you have, videotapes or any tapes, you better inform the central committee, which will be formed of all these leaders here, and inform them that you have got this tape and that tape and that tape. Make a list of that, send it over and revise it, put it right, because they should not be lost. All of you should try to think about the little problems of facing the propaganda. Like I would say that people may say, what is so miraculous about Mother? They are not realized souls. So what do you do? Now, we can always keep the photograph where you saw the light on my head and show them and ask them, how do you explain? Also, you can, now there's another beautiful photograph. Can you show them Arnu? Arnu has got a beautiful photograph where my whole hand has come like a moving sun. You must pay him to get a copy for that, and all of you should keep that with you. There is another one where there is light coming out of my feet. Like that, you should keep these photographs with you, all of you, so that when anybody confronts you, you can show the photograph. See now, how do you explain? Like a simple thing like people were talking now in England, a discussion about Christ. That's a gentleman supposed to be very knowledgeable says Christ never existed. Because Paul never mentioned it. Paul, I think you change your name because that Paul was a horrible fellow. This now, we have to ask them, but why do you believe in Paul? You should write to all the churches because you believed in Paul, that's why there's a problem about Paul. This is also some committee should handle, that we have to blast all of them when there is any attack on Christ or on me or anything. All of us must write immediately, what do you mean by this? Christ has said that you are to be born again. And Nicodemus said, that does it mean that I enter into the womb of my mother? So Christ said that is what is born of flesh is flesh, but what is born of spirit is the spirit. See the vibrations. What about that? So then you write to them that this Paul great was never, I don't mean you, but Paul, the Mr. Paul of the Bible, was never a realized soul.
Now we'll do a little meditation. For many months, we have been having the morning meditation. We've been doing many worships. But as Shivali said, now it is that you have to pay your attention to the deity and you have to establish the deity. Siddhkara. So starting today, every week, we will work on that aspect because it's about time that we start manifesting all these qualities and powers, because that's what an enlightened soul should be. So the first and foremost, starting with Sri Ganesha, can pay attention to your own, to Sri Ganesha within us. And request him to kindly bless us with the same surrender to Shimadji as you have. A Mool mantra for a Saj Yogi for this is simple. It can be Tasi Shriyanchi Ichha, that whatever mother desires, whatever pleases her. Lakshmani said she has no desire. So Tasi Shriyanchi Ichha, if you just say that within yourself and surrender, जैसे राखो सो ही रहो. That I'll stay whichever way you keep me. And then the manifestation of the powers of Sri Ganesh as absolute innocence. The Sri Ganesha kindly make us all innocent. Kindly awaken that power where human beings have the desire to be innocent. So that this world becomes a place of innocent people. May your innocence emit through us so that we are empowered by your grace, that wherever we go, we emit innocence. We emit the compassion of Lord Christ. So that light spreads into all human hearts. And enlightens everyone. Now within on the purity within us, which is our own mother. And her name is Sri Nirmala Devi, which itself means the absolute purity, all the beauty, all the fragrance, all the joy, all the peace, all the satisfaction, the complete. Just putting attention on that. Humbly request Lakshmanji, kindly fill us with that love with which you raised all our consciousness, where you worked so hard to elevate us, to cleanse us. You're within us as our Mother Kundalini, and you're constantly cleansing us. May we become the same. May this desire to be chaste and pure be awakened in all human beings, so that this world actually transforms. And may we, as your instruments, emit that light, that power, which transforms everyone. Now the Agya Chakra. In your graciousness, Srimadji, Lord Christ, you forgave us. You forgave all our mistakes, which we still do, by being petty, by being by gossiping, by being unkind, by expressing our egos or superegos. By your compassion, you've forgiven us and given us that capacity to forgive others. Give us that power and that fortitude to be able to go through any challenge. You did the penances of all penances. Give us that capacity to bear things. And just to emit peace and forgiveness and compassion and humility. Yes, Srimati. Sri Ganesha, you blessed this whole universe, all mankind, by coming on this earth as Lord Christ. And for opening our Agya Chakra. And allowing us to enter the kingdom of our mother and our father. For that, we humbly thank you again and again. Just going to offer a few names of Lord Christ, and then after that we'll go to Aarti. Shri Yeshu Krista. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Yeshu Christai Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Verily, you're the Lord of the Agya Chakra. Shri Agya Chakra Swami. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Agya Chakra Swami Namo Namaha. Verily, you're the sun and you're the one who enlightens the whole world, the whole universe. Shri Surya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Suryai Namo Namaha. You're the one who is the bestower of forgiveness. She Shama Pradayakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shama Pradayakai Namo Namaha. Verily, you're the one whose very form is forgiveness itself. Shri Shama Swarupai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shama Swarupai Namo Namaha. Verily, you're the one who's the bestower of contentment, self-restraint, detachment, and patience. Shri Shama Dama Vairagya Titiksh Pradayakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shama Dama Vairagya Tatiksha Pradayakai Namo Namaha. Verily, you're the primordial sound, the Om personified. Shri Omkara. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Omkarai Namo Namaha. For verily, you're the flow of vibrations, Shri Chaitanya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Chaitanya Namo Namaha. For verily, you're the all-pervading primordial being, Shri Adi Purusha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Purushai Namo Namaha. You're the one with 1,000 heads. See, Shri Sahasra Shishai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sahasra Shishai Namo Namaha. For you have 1,000 eyes. Shri Sahasra Akshay. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sahasra Akshay Namo Namaha. Verily, you're the 9th incarnation of Shri Vishnu. Shri Vishnu. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vishnu Namo Namaha. For verily, you're the son of Shri Krishna, the 8th incarnation of Shri Vishnu. Shri Vishnu Satai. Om Tvameva Sakshat
Shri Vishnu Sutaye Namo Namaha.
For you're the one who's the higher aspect of Sri Ganesha, of Sri Vishnu, who is Sri Ganesha himself, Sri Mahavishnu. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahavishnu Namo Namaha. And the last one, we'll say the full one. For you're the one who's wielding millions of universes. They're just your play. Shri Ananta Koti Brahmanda Dharakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ananta Koti Brahmanda Dharakai Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Salutations to you, Shivaji, again and again, for blessing us, for raising us so much higher. We thank you again and again. Jai Shri Mataji. Can get ready for Aarti.
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने दिए अवतार माँ, कितने दिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा, तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको, माँ सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, लौट के ना जाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियाला, माँ कर दिया उजियाला। कलयुग में माया है, कलयुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधु संगीत सुन लो, माँ मधु संगीत सुन लो। हो सके जो सेवा, हो सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा लेना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। बोलो श्री भगवती माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
Wait, stop! Don't skip this video!
Jesus.
Bye.